My Lord and my God. 4 simple words, spoken before the wounds of the risen Christ, became one of the greatest declarations of faith in the Gospels. They did not come from the disciple who believed first, but from the one history remembers as Doubting Thomas. Yet, behind that familiar title was a man chosen by Jesus, shaped by honest questions, strengthened by mercy, and ultimately sent to carry the gospel farther than any of the other apostles. Nearly 2,000 years later, his journey continues to inspire millions who discover that faith is often born not from certainty, but from a yearning to know Christ. Thomas was one of the 12 personally chosen by Jesus. The Gospels reveal a disciple who was courageous, deeply loyal, and unafraid to ask difficult questions. When Jesus decided to return to Judea, despite the danger, Thomas urged the other disciples, "Let us also go, that we may die with him." At the Last Supper, he openly admitted that he did not understand where Jesus was going, prompting Christ to proclaim one of Christianity's most treasured truths: "I am the way, the truth, and the life." Thomas did not doubt out of disbelief. He questioned because he longed to understand before he believed. That desire reached its defining moment after the resurrection. Having missed Jesus' first appearance to the disciples, Thomas refused to rely solely on their testimony. He wanted to encounter the risen Lord for himself. Rather than rebuking him, Jesus returned a week later and invited Thomas to touch his wounds. In that deeply personal meeting, doubt gave way to unwavering faith, and Thomas proclaimed, "My Lord and my God." It was the clearest confession of Christ's divinity recorded in Scripture, revealing not a disciple condemned for doubting, but one transformed by an encounter with God's mercy. That encounter changed the course of Thomas's life. Christian tradition holds that Thomas journeyed east through Persia before reaching India's Malabar coast around 52 AD. There, he preached the gospel, established the 7.5 churches of Kerala, and laid the foundations of Christian communities that proudly continue their faith as St. Thomas Christians. His mission eventually brought him to Mylapore, near present-day Chennai, where, according to tradition, opponents killed him with a spear around 72 AD. The disciple who once asked for proof ultimately gave his life for the truth he had touched. Today, believers across India and around the world keep St. Thomas' legacy alive through prayer, pilgrimages, and unwavering faith. Every July 3rd, the Church celebrates his feast and his unforgettable confession, "My Lord and my God." Still echoes in the hearts and prayers of millions, Thomas reminds every searching heart that questions need not be the end of faith. When placed before Christ with honesty and humility, they can become the very beginning of a deeper, lifelong encounter with God.